I have actually just given up on dating as a whole. I keep hooking up with my ex. Is that bad? The sex is just so good. I think that they just tell you what they think that you want to hear. Sometimes it's really hard to see when a friend is toxic. Hook up with him when you're drunk. Should you ever feel bad about hooking up with your ex's friend? I never really felt bad. I don't know if I keep answering or ghost him. And how can I stop caring about what people think of me? Like, oh my god, I think literally everybody hates me. Hello everyone, it's Amanda Pulitano. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe and turn on my post notifications so that you don't miss an upload. So today, hey Frankie. Today we're going to be doing another girl talk video. These are some of my favorite videos to film. I just love getting into deep conversations and stuff like that. So these videos are just my favorites. Frankie wants to cuddle. She's like, why are you filming right now? She's gonna give some advice too. I had you guys ask me questions on Instagram and I'm just gonna be giving you guys some advice, my honest opinion on different topics and all of that. So let's get into it. How do I get over a breakup if he goes to the same school as me so I always see him out? This definitely makes situations way harder. I remember when I was in high school, it was definitely harder getting over guys when I saw them every single day at school. But you just have to try your best to not hook up with him when you're drunk and when you're out, and try not to talk to him. I know it's hard, especially when you're drunk. I feel like you always are just wanting to talk to your ex when you're drunk, especially when they're right in your face. So you basically just have to have a lot more willpower. Maybe try and go out somewhere different where he doesn't hang out. Maybe make your friends literally drag you away by your hair when you speak to him when you guys are out. I feel like that's like the number one thing. Just like literally just don't talk to him. That's like all you could really do, because it's hard enough as it is having him in your face, you know, like that's really tough. So yeah, with time I'm sure that things will get easier and seeing him will get easier. You'll get used to it. Frankie really wants to be the star of this girl talk. Do you have something to tell them? Do you have something to tell them, my love? Advice to forget your past experiences that were so hard. This is a tough one for sure. There are certain situations that I've gone through that still come back and I still have to work through, even though they were years ago. The most important thing is to just take what you learned from those situations and apply them to your future situations. I feel like in this generation, it's very pushed that you're supposed to be a bad bitch and not feel your emotions and not let anybody see you trip and just not seem like you're sad or that situations affect you at all, which is such a toxic thing. And I don't know when that became a thing, but it's so stupid. I think you need to remember that everybody heals at their own pace and everybody goes through things and deals with things differently. So let's say you went through a breakup and it's been a year and you're still not over it, but your best friend broke up with her boyfriend 2 months ago and she's fine. It's okay. Everybody heals at their own pace, and eventually you will heal from those things that you have dealt with in the past. But take your time, let yourself feel what you need to feel. Eventually you're going to be healed from them and you're going to look back and be like, oh my god, wow, I've come such a long way. But you just have to remember that everything takes time and it's okay. Even if it's been a long time, it's okay to still be healing from something. If something hurt you, nobody can tell you how long it should take you to move on from that situation. And I also do think it's really important to remember that it isn't really possible to forget past situations that have really hurt you, but eventually you will grow from them and you will heal from them and they will just be a part of your past. Every single thing that we go through and deal with all shape us into who we end up being at the end of our life. And even the negative things, they always have a positive outcome, because whatever they taught you is such a powerful thing, and you're gonna grow from whatever the situation is and you're gonna learn so much, and one day it's going to be bearable and it's going to be something that doesn't even hurt you anymore, but you're never going to fully forget about things that hurt you really badly, you know? How to keep calm when I get nervous, and how can I stop caring about what people think of me? Okay, how to keep calm when you get nervous. What I do is I just take really deep breaths when I start getting nervous. I also give myself pep talks. As cheesy as that sounds, I literally do. I will look in the mirror and be like, you got this, you are a bad bitch, you can handle this. I don't know, it helps though. Also talking to somebody, if I'm nervous for something, I'll call my mom or call my best friend and talk to them, and that normally helps me. And it's really hard to stop fully caring what people think. I feel like in general, I don't really care what people think, but I still sometimes find myself going home after a night of being social and being like, oh my god, I think literally everybody hates me. To some degree, I think it's just inevitable, but you really just have to remember that other people are not thinking about you as much as you think that they probably are, because at the end of the day, I feel like everybody is just worried about themselves for the most part and like the closest people to them. So yeah, and also if somebody is like taking enough time out of their day to critique you and think negatively on you, that just shows what kind of person they are, and those kind of people suck anyway, so let them think whatever the fuck they want, you know? How do you make girlfriends? I recently have made a bunch of friends, and I feel like I'm relatively good at making friends for somebody who is like kind of shy. I think that social media is a really big part in that. I literally have met, I think, 90% of my friends on social media. It makes it so much easier. You can see right on their like Instagram if you guys have the same interests and stuff like that. So that is like a big way that I've made friends. And then also I've made a lot of friends through mutual friends and just going out and putting myself out there. I feel like it's really easy to start up a conversation. I honestly make a lot of my friends when I have had a couple of drinks, which is probably toxic, but it makes it easier. It makes socializing way easier when I've had like 2 cocktails. I don't know. It also is important to remember that you're not going to click with everybody. There's been so many girls that I've met and we spent like a night out together and I've never really talked to them again because we just didn't vibe super well. And you're not going to vibe and click and become best friends with every single person that you meet, but you basically just have to put yourself out there. There have been so many random girls that we followed each other on Instagram and we just DM'd being like, let's go get coffee sometime. Like, I don't know, you'd be surprised how many times the girl's gonna say yes, and if they don't, whatever, who cares? They probably will though. You really just have to put yourself out there. I think that that's the scariest part in making friends, especially in your 20s, because it's harder as you get older to make good friends. But also I feel like if you have 1 or 2 really good, genuine, real friends, that's all that matters. Quality over quantity for sure when it comes to friends, but definitely take advantage of social media. It makes meeting new people so much easier. My ex wants to end things up as friends. He still texts me every day, but like not flirting. I don't know if I keep answering or ghost him. I think that if texting every day is making the moving on process harder for you, maybe just tell him. I don't think ghosting is ever like the right thing to do, but I think that he should understand that being friends makes the moving on process harder for you. So maybe just tell him, send him a little text, maybe say something along the lines of like, hey, really appreciate that you want to stay friends and I would love that too, but it really is making moving on hard for me and I really need to heal from our breakup, and maybe one day we can be friends, but as of right now I just need some space. And hopefully he understands. If he doesn't understand, then he's an ass. But you know, everybody handles breakups differently, and that might just be his way of not wanting to let you go or not wanting to see you fully move on. So yeah, I think that's just a conversation that you guys need to have. How to deal with gaining healthy weight / being confident in your body. This has been something that I've been dealing with for the past like 2 years now. I think that it is really hard to see your body change as you get older and all of that, but as long as you're healthy, that is like the most important thing. You just have to remember that. For me, when I'm like working out and being active, which I like haven't been in kind of a while, but when I am being more physically active and like eating well and stuff, I feel like I feel better about my body, even though I have seen changes in it, just because I know that I'm healthy and I know that I'm like doing the right things for my body, you know? So I feel like that really helps. But yeah, I don't know how to give advice on this because I'm still dealing with it, but those are 2 things that do help me, sort of. Should you ever feel bad about hooking up with your ex's friend? I've been there. I never really felt bad. Depends how you guys ended, I guess, but I don't know. No, don't feel bad, fuck it, whatever. Advice for saving money. Okay, this is kind of random for this video, but what I like to do is every time that I get paid, I take a certain amount and put it into my savings account and then put a certain amount into my checking account. I try my best to never, ever touch my savings account. So basically just give yourself a budget to spend each month. My boyfriend cheated on me in the beginning of my relationship and it's been 7 months. What do I do? I honestly don't think anyone should ever stay with somebody that cheated on them. Like, Like, you deserve so much better. You deserve to be with somebody that wouldn't even glance at another girl. And obviously, to each their own. If you decide to forgive somebody after cheating, that's your situation, and I don't judge. Like, obviously when you're in love, it's really, really hard to walk away sometimes. But if it's still bothering you after 7 months and it's just not a situation you would like to be in, maybe just break up with him and tell him that that situation is still just bothering you and that you can't see past it. Cheating is the worst thing that you can do in a relationship. It is so hurtful and so mean. What to do when all you feel like is being alone. Listen to your body. Spend a day alone, spend a week alone, spend time by yourself, do things for you, do things alone. I'm in that phase right now. I have been so social the past like 2 weeks, and right now literally I want nothing more than to just be alone. We are staying home this weekend. I don't want to socialize, I don't want to speak to anybody, and that's okay. Like, it's completely fine if you want to just be alone. That's normal. That's fine. You just have to listen to yourself and listen to your body and be alone when your body's telling you that it wants to be alone. How can a guy show a girl that he's fully committed to her? I think consistency is everything. If you are just consistently showing her that you're serious about the situation, she's gonna eventually realize that you're being serious. I feel like in the beginning a lot of guys act like they're all in, and then that just doesn't last and the consistency is just not there. So I feel like a lot of girls in the beginning are just like, yeah, all right, and then when they see that the guy's being consistent with it, they're like, oh shit, he's being fucking serious. Plan things, make it known that you want to see her consistently, text her consistently, all of that. How can you differentiate good friends from toxic friends? Sometimes it's really hard to see when a friend is toxic, but one, I think the way that you feel when you're around them speaks volumes. Also, the way that you feel after you're with them also speaks volumes. If you just feel drained after hanging out with somebody, maybe they're not the best energy to be around. Also, just how they treat you, how they talk to you. I know that when I've like dealt with toxic friends, I literally would feel like anxious when I'm hanging out with them. Like, my body was like rejecting the friendship, literally. Advice on friends who only want to be friends when it benefits them. I think cut those people out completely, because those are the worst people to be friends with. That is so messed up. Like, I don't like people that keep you around because you like benefit them. Like, that's just dumb. You deserve a better friend than that. I think definitely just cut them out of your life, because you don't need that energy around you. What to do when your boyfriend doesn't feel comfortable with you going to parties. Okay, I'm gonna assume that he has dealt with a relationship in the past that maybe wasn't the most healthy, and he's bringing that into your relationship, or he's just a little toxic. I don't know. But I think that you really just need to have a conversation with him and be like, listen, you need to trust me. You have no reason to not trust me. I've never given you a reason to doubt me in that way. I should be able to go to parties and hang out with my friends, and you can come, maybe invite him to the parties, but like, you need to just have that conversation. And if he still is like, no, you're not going, then you don't need that kind of situation in your life. That is controlling, that is toxic, that is just not a good relationship to be in. But just try and have a conversation with him first about it and see if he can grow and have some trust. Trust is everything in a relationship, and if he doesn't trust you to go to a party without him, you guys need to work on something. Why do guys lie about wanting to date and then just use you? A lot of guys do this. I've seen it happen to me. I've seen it happen to my friends. Guys do this all the time. I think that they just tell you what they think that you want to hear so that they can get what they want. And then once they get what they want, they leave, which is so fucked up. Me and Kiara were just talking about this. Like, I would so much rather a guy just be straight up with me and honest with me about the situation and what he wants out of it. I would respect him so much more than if he lied. Like, I hate liars more than anything. So if a guy were just to tell me like, yeah, like, I don't want a serious relationship, I don't want a relationship whatsoever, I'd be like, okay, like, whatever. Like, as long as they're honest. It's hard, but a lot of guys do that just because they want to get what they want, so they'll tell you what they think you want to hear. That's really it. How to cultivate a healthy morning routine. So I feel like I've gotten my morning routine pretty down pat now. I wake up and I just like do it naturally, but for a while I would wake up and just lay in my bed for like hours and like I didn't have a healthy morning routine. But basically what I did for like months and months and months is every single night I would make a to-do list, literally of the most simple things. I would write like wake up, make bed, brush teeth, like every little thing in my morning routine I would write down on my to-do list, and I would wake up and it would make it like so much easier, and it would be like something fun to do, like checking off the to-do list. I don't know. And I did that like every single day for the longest time, and I don't really do it anymore, but now like I don't need to. Like I wake up and just immediately do all of the things that I do in my morning routine right away, and I just get out of bed right away. But yeah, I definitely recommend making a to-do list the night before. It makes you want to be so much more productive the next day, and it makes it a lot easier. Do you believe in right person, wrong timing? Okay, I'm gonna be honest. For a long time, I really wanted to believe in right person, wrong time, just because there was a guy who I liked, didn't work out, and I was like, oh, it's right person, wrong time. He'll be back. He'll be back. No, like he fucking won't. He won't be back. I just strongly believe now that if it's the right person, it's gonna be the right time, period. And that doesn't mean that like things can't change and people can't make their way back into your life. But I think that like harping on right person, wrong time is really toxic, because then you're just gonna end up waiting around for this person to come back into your life, and you're not gonna let new people in. And that's just gonna end up being toxic for you. That's what I think. I don't know if it's right. Who knows? I keep hooking up with my ex. Is that bad? The sex is just so good. LOL, TMI. Like, if it's not hurting you emotionally and toxic for you, then I don't see an issue in it. Like if you guys have like an agreement where like it's just sex and like you're both okay with that, then whatever. Do you date to have fun or for potential marriage? Well, I haven't had a boyfriend in like 3 years or something like that now. So yeah, no, I don't date for fun. Like I don't see the point in getting into a relationship if I don't see myself with them for a long time. And every single guy that I have talked to in the past 3 years, it has lasted maybe like 3 months tops. And then if I decide that I don't like them, I'm like, great, no. And then I guess if they also decide that they don't like me, it just doesn't go anywhere. But I just don't see the point in getting into a relationship if I don't see myself with them for like a long time. Dating in your healing phase. Okay, this is me right now, and I have actually just given up on dating as a whole. I feel like I've been in like this healing era of my life for a long time. 3 years ago, I got out of a 2-year-long relationship, and I healed from that. I was fine. I kind of healed from that in a different way, and I was just kind of having fun, like talking to random guys, like hooking up with random guys, just having fun, partying, whatever. And it helped me, and I healed from that, and I was fine. And then I started just focusing on me, and it was quarantine time, and I was like doing me and whatever. And then I moved to LA, and then I got hurt again. I got my heart broken again. And again, I partied a shit ton like this summer that I was in LA, made crazy decisions, did crazy things, was a psychopath, whatever. Partied a ton, was clubbing like every week. Nuts. I don't know her anymore. I was kind of just doing it like to try and forget about the other guy, which like didn't help at all and literally like made everything worse. So I ended up like realizing that dating was not helping me, and I needed to actually heal myself alone. And so now this past like entire year, I have literally been focusing solely on myself. I think it was like 2 months before I moved back here from LA, I had this realization that I needed to not entertain any guys at all, and I needed to just heal myself and focus on me, completely solely focus on me and not speak to any guys at all. And I did that for a long time. I'm like still kind of doing that, but now I'm like actually healed and like actually doing really well. But like now I know that like if a guy were to come into my life and I were to start dating him, like it would be healthy because I'm happy with myself, and like I'm not looking for a guy, and I'm not looking for somebody to fill a void. Like I'm literally just chilling all the time. I think that dating in your healing phase is a tough thing, and it took me a long time to realize that I just needed to be alone for me to heal, and that dating was making things worse. So yeah, I think that the situation is going to be different for everybody. You just have to take the time to figure out what you need and what's gonna help you heal, you know? On that note, I think I'm gonna end this girl talk here. I liked this one. This one was fun. It was kind of like a therapy session for me. I also ghosted my therapist recently, but that's another story. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this girl talk. I have a bunch of other girl talks. I have a whole playlist. I will link it down below. Go binge those, go watch those. I feel like some of these are probably getting repetitive. I don't fucking know, whatever. they're fun for me, so I'm gonna keep doing them. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I love you all to the moon and back, and I'll talk to you guys in my next one. Mwah.